Alright, and hello and welcome to another edition of #esports time. Today with a little bit different settings, testing out to better up my content. And first of all, here's your host, DrPuppet, Alex Weber, and yeah, welcome to another edition of #esports time. Today, the topic will be the Origen vs Fnatic matchup coming week 4 of the EU LCS, and it's kind of like the old guard against the new guard of Fnatic. And I'm very hyped for this match, and I want to hype you already. So first, before I get into the topic of the video, sorry for not making a lot of videos lately. I've been busy with a few stuff. I'm still waiting for the right moment to make a vlog when I finish sorting things out, and then I'm gonna give you all the information about what happened, what I have been doing, and so on. So let's start and talk about the matchup. And coming to week 4 of the ULCS, we will have the most hyped and anticipated matchup of the summer split of the 2015 ULCS, right? The old Kings of Europe will be matching up against the new Kings of Europe. Expecting Crew will be playing against the All-Star Crew for the first place in the ULCS, and both teams are living up to their names and previous hype. Some might have thought that Origen would be only a top 5 team, but they proved that they are definitely a worth top 3 team. So Origen proved everyone that they are definitely worth a top 3 place team in the ULCS and are worth their spot right there on the top. So they could show everybody how good they are. And so let's take a moment and analyze and predict the matchup coming into week 4 of the ULCS, because I'm very hyped. I myself, as a Fnatic fan, I am very hyped to see the old guys from Fnatic, expecting SOS, battle it out with the new guys under Yellowstar's command. So let's start by analyzing a little bit Fnatic, right? So Fnatic, the new Fnatic lineup, they still have that aggressive and skirmish heavy playstyle, right? So they are very versatile and innovative when it comes to picks and strategies. They try always new picks out, mostly on the top lane, which is very cool, very nice, very niche. And they have a carry top laner, and they have a very top lane driven focus when it comes to the early game. Like Rainover and Huni synergy is intense and really good. And when it comes to that, they really focus on the top lane a lot and try to make Huni get going so he can carry the team by himself. They play very safe and don't go too many risks when they play objective focus. Like, they ward long and big areas in the enemy jungle before they go for a play or go for a dive or push or siege in certain situations. Like, they play very safe, and they have a unique playstyle which is very similar to the old Fnatic's playstyle, so that there isn't that much of a change. And so yeah, so this is why I think this matchup will be a lot closer than maybe a lot of you expect. And because the old Fnatic had a very similar skirmish playstyle, they weren't that safe when it comes to objective focus. They were more the brawling composition, cheesing fights and brawls around the map, and then go for the objectives. But this game is a bit more organized. This team is a bit more organized when it comes to objective focus. So it's very great. So let's take a look before we go into the matchups and Origen analysis. Let's look a bit at the previous performance of Fnatic, right? So they won the first split they played in the LCS, what I call the rookie split for them, because it was basically Fnatic run by Yellowstar and 4 new guys, which didn't have too much of a show in the professional scene. They had this impressive performance at the MSI, and strong showing so far, right? So in the first 3 weeks of LCS, they had a very good showing. They have a 5-0 record right now when I'm recording this video. It's Friday, the 12th of June. So tonight will be also a match of Fnatic and Origen, which I hope will be the 6-0 for both teams, so we can have more hype around them. But Fnatic had a bit of struggles in week 2 against SK and Gambit. They seem to have a bit of miscommunications, weren't on top of their game, and the team fights didn't go too well for them sometimes, and they struggle a little bit, even though they are definitely performing a lot better than those two teams. So let's go over and take a look at Origen. Origen's playstyle is also very objective driven and skirmish playstyle. They have a very clean rotations and safe playstyle. Like they plan out things, they prepare things very clean and play them out near to perfection. And they have a very impressive shot calling because it's so clear, it's so simple, but so well performed that you see that there's experience from the guys from World Championships, and you can see the virus of teammates, like well, actually everyone except Niels, showing that they have really learned a lot through their experience in professional play. So they also have a very top lane focused playstyle, which I think is very interesting, and it's not too much of the old Fnatic where it was more mid-centric around Expect, and now the focus of the team is more on SOS, and Expect has more the support carry role in the team, and still I can see a little bit of the old Fnatic style, just a bit optimized in a focus play, which I think is very interesting. With the addition of Amazing, we have also again a very supportive jungler, not that much of a carry jungler again, even though he played very well so far and carry a lot of games, but in a different way that he done before he joined TSM, right? So let's see the previous performance of them as well. They swept through the challenger scene and took every game they could. They slacked off in the last few games, but they were already they just won already the CS, and so they were like more chilling out or not showing too many things before play. Also, they had a very solid run. They are, as well as Fnatic, 5-0 in records right now, and they had a very impressive performance so far in the ULCS, right? So they played very clean. They dominated every game. They were simply better than most teams they played against, right? Let's take a look at the matchups. Let's take a look at the matchups itself, and we have very stacked talent in every lane, in every scenario, very similar playstyles in certain scenarios, and very different. So let's take a look, because some champions and some carry styles might be similar. Like let's start with the top lane, because the top lane is, in my opinion, the most contested matchup in this game. It will be the battle of SOS versus Huni, two carry top laners duking it out in the top lane. They have first very versatile top lane styles with big champion pools, and they are not afraid to pick anything different or off meta or new picks. You could see on the Rise pick that Huni brought out, and SOS was never the guy that would stuck to the tank meta. He would just pick what he thinks is best for him and for the team, and yeah. Also, both like to go 1v1 a lot, so we can expect a lot of fights in the top lane, since I can imagine that both junglers will be camping a lot top lane, will be coming a lot top lane, since they want their both top laners to snowball and start carrying. And as well, always remind that SOS is that huge 1v1 guy, and we can see a very interesting matchup coming up. Also, let's take a look at the jungle matchup, because also the jungle matchup will be extremely interesting. So if you remember what I mentioned before in the analysis, they are both very top centric teams. Like Amazing and Renover both have a huge synergy with their top laners and like to go top, like to snowball them, make them able to carry games, and also they are both two support junglers, and they do what the team needs. They have a huge synergy with the top laner, so they pick according to the top lane or mid lane pick what is the best for the brawl skirmish composition, or even for the team in general. They have a big champion pool as well, and yeah, we can see a lot of playmaking potential right there. So they are not afraid to go top lane, do a gank, or go mid lane, go for a gank, or even counter jungling. So we can expect some battles, not only in the jungle itself, but mostly on the lane. So we can expect a lot of ganks, a lot of early aggression. So might be possible to see Rek'Sai Gragas matchups, or even one of them banned to avoid or to make someone of them play from behind in terms of skirmish potential, the lineup. So let's see what they will bring to the table, because another very interesting matchup which everybody's already hyping so much, because everybody wants to know who is better. Will it be the Old King or the young prodigy from Fnatic, Xpeke or Fevin? Who is better actually? And if you look at their histories, we know that Xpeke is like that great guy, that flashy player that can do flash plays with Kassadin. He's so famous for his aggression with Kassadin and his roams, his teleport play, or even his famous backdoor in the IEM against SK Gaming. And if we take a look at Fevin, a kind of a more new player, we don't have too much history on him. He played for H2K before, played with them the qualifiers, qualified for the LCS with them, then went to Fnatic, and then at MSI he has had an incredible showing against SKT1, and it was impressive, right? So we have this both talented mid laners, one more veteran experience, and still playing good. However, Xpeke had a more supportive role in the games of Origen. Like Origen had a carry on top lane and an AD carry, and while Fnatic has a more top-centric and mid-lane-centric team, so that Reckless is like that guy that will just keep farming and then clean up, while we have a carry in Fevin, right? So this comes to my next analysis, and it will be more about the ADC matchup, right? So we have Neos against Reckless, maybe two of the best AD carries in Europe right now, and maybe in the West, duking it out against each other. They have both completely different playstyles. Neos plays more of a hard carry role in terms of Origen. He gets a lot more farm. He has an incredible team fight position, so they use it very, very well. Get him on hyper carry picks or give them the comfort pick so he can play to his best. Like the Vayne pick that he did, he could carry extremely well. But actually Vayne is a Reckless champ as well, so Reckless got on the same style that Neos is getting his KDA or his performance showing right now. He got that last season with Fnatic as well, right? So we have this two different play styles, two very, very high skilled AD carries duking it out. They're very mechanical. So if we get the 2v2, which I can expect from both teams to get, it will be very interesting to see who is better in laning, who will be better later in the team fights later on, and which playstyle can win. Can the hard carry style for Neos bring Origen a bit more than Reckless cleanup style and passive let's stay back and do some damage style? And so we can expect an extremely interesting matchup right there in the team fights, mostly because both of them have an incredible positioning normally, and we can expect very, very good matches alone by the carries of the both teams. And let's come to the last but not least matchup, the support matchup, which is also extremely worth talking about, because Fnatic Analysis, they have the kind of confident playmaking. They're both not afraid. They lead the teams to what they need to do, right? So they mostly do all the shot calling and do the plays for them. So you can expect a very similar play style from both. They want to have very similar picks, like the Alistar pick, the any pick. They will be both very contested by both players, just being able to make the plays, roam for the team, and just be there, a leader role. Like they alright guys, I'm going in, I have my WQ up, let's go, I have my stun up. They want to lead the team with engages. So who will be the better leader, right? So this will be interesting as well. Who can be the flashes of them all? So let's go to the final prediction right here. So I had to do some new recording because my mic just died while I'm mid-recording. Today is the 13th of June, so we had the last play day of the week 3 as well. So Fnatic went 6-0 and Origen went 5-1. And according to the prediction I had before, I would call Origen to win, and I will keep it because they blamed their loss mostly because Amazing was sick, so the comms and the game wasn't on point, up to their standard. But if we don't count that in, the Origen performance was actually better than Fnatic's performance, right? So what will be important for this matchup, before I call out my prediction completely and explain it to you, let's see what will be important in this matchup. This match, the key matchup will be the top and the mid lane. Who wins one of the both lanes will probably win the game for the team. So they both have very similar objective play and team fight very similar. So their skill level is very, very close in both type of senses, and so we can expect a very, very close game. And who do less mistakes in this match will win the game, basically, because both have experienced shot calling. So if they see an opportunity, they will go for it. They will try to force their game. Fnatic's famous for that. The old Fnatic was also famous for that, for making their side being playable. Like, people have to accord to their side. So we have both similar teams and trying to achieve the same thing. So we have an extremely impactful game right there. So I would call still Origen to win. Not because they are more experienced, but simply because they performed cleaner in the split already so far. Maybe they had one loss right now. I don't know how this will affect the team, or however. But still, they had the first 2 weeks a lot, much more cleaner performance as Fnatic. So I'm expecting them to perform better. And I would call Origen out to win. However, it will be such a close game that it is extremely hard to predict, right? So I think it will be a good match nonetheless. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope I could bring you some insight in the matchups and could share a few thoughts on the matchups. If you liked the video, of course, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Share your feedback in the comment section down below and your thoughts, of course, or just hit me up on Twitter at ALWM9. So this was #esportstime. Here's your host, Alex DrPuppet Weber, and we see us on the next time, guys. Bye bye, adios amigos.